You know what? All this season, I've been kind of wondering why is Karen Huger's confessionals that involve Robyn so real? And now I think I got it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 14. As I said, there's been a couple things just floating around in my head about Potomac this season. And one of them was, why is Karen coming at Robyn so hard? Like Karen, like everybody else kind of does this little dance with Robyn about Juan and the wedding and all of that and the whole marriage. Karen has been firing buckshots at her from an old Gatling gun, honey. I mean, it's just been just straight, like she's just been coming at her. And I kept wondering, why is she coming so hard at Robyn? But in this episode, I kind of see why. Robyn literally took and pulled the rug from out from under Karen and watched her bust her knees on the doggone concrete. I said, oh, Robyn, I'm going to get to it, baby. She told Miss Karen straight up in her face, baby, you're a bullshit. And we all see through you. I said, oh, girl, that's why you've been getting that smoke, Robyn. I said, now it all makes sense. But okay, we'll talk about it when we get there. But let's start with Karen and Charisse. And by the way, this confessional look that Charisse did, best Charisse has ever looked on the show. That confessional, Charisse, girl, whoever put you together for that confessional look, you need to take that stylist, double their pay, and carry them everywhere with you. If you don't have, if you got money, this is where you let your money do the talking and walking, girl. Whoever that is that styled you for that, you need to carry them with you everywhere. Everywhere. For everything. Hair, makeup, clothes, everything. This was the best look that I've ever seen Charisse with on the show the whole time it's been on the air. And I've not missed one episode. I've been here. I've seen it. I was here, Charisse, when you wasn't here. Catch. I was here on the episodes that you weren't on the episodes, boo-boo. So listen, I know what you've been looking like since you came. And while you've been here, you need to stick with whoever that is to put you together because they put you together. You look nice there, girl. Anyway, moving on. Karen and Charisse. So they're getting down to this whole thing of what the real issue is. And we all know Charisse got some stuff on Karen, and it all came out at the table. And Karen got some resentment for Charisse. Karen's whole situation is just really a deflection. It really is. It's a deflection. You mad about stuff in the past. You're mad because she actually has some stuff on you. That's what you're really mad about. But what you decide to throw it on is this whole thing. And then she says, my aunt said, as long as Charisse doesn't bring up on camera about her being at Karen's mother's funeral, then she came out of a good place. It came from a good place. And then they showed this shady Bravo showed this footage of the aunt bringing up Karen's mother's funeral on camera before anything. I said, oh, not if you see, if you're going to give advice, you need to follow that advice. If Karen ain't talking about her mama's funeral, don't nobody else need to be bringing it up. But that's what I took out of their nasty the placement of their little thing. You ain't practicing what you preach. So it was okay for you to bring it up on camera. But if Charisse bring it up on camera, that means that Charisse was doing something shady. But you weren't. Didn't y'all both get the same results? You ended up on the show, Auntie, just like Charisse ended up on the show, which is what Karen accused Charisse of, right? So you did the same thing. So that means you was disingenuous. So were you clout chasing too, Auntie? Because you got the same thing that Karen swears that Charisse wanted by bringing up her mother's death and the funeral. Anyway, then we do see Charisse in some footage later on. Because Charisse pointed out, I'm the only one who came. So I drove 4 hours, Karen, to be with you because nobody else from the show came. I drove 4 hours myself to be there for you. And I didn't do it for clout. And she let her know, I didn't need any clout. What I need clout for? I made this. I said, oops. I made this. I brought these women together. And you weren't in the beginnings because you weren't my friend. You were sitting at a table. With me, and somebody thought you were my friend and they recommended you. That's how you got here. But this is my realm. I put it together. I don't need no clout from you. I said, oh, okay. And Karen wasn't even, I said, girl, what happened to the Grand Dame, honey? I guess you put her in her purse. And then I said, this is too much. Anyway, and then Gizelle had the nerve to turn around and say, well, yeah, Karen, Charisse is the queen of Potomac. I said, oh, girl, I know that cut like a knife and fell down on you like bricks. So you're the Grand Dame. You stated that you're the Grand Dame, and she let you know, no, Charisse is the queen. I said, oh, well, where does that leave you? Where does that leave you, Gizelle? What are you? A chambermaid? If Charisse is the queen, goddamn Karen is the Grand Dame, what is Robyn and Gizelle? They chambermaids. They are. Anyway, okay. But in the midst of that conversation, it was all this about how Karen can forgive everybody else and apologize to all the other ladies at the table that were at the table earlier, because this was at a different dinner. I done switched from 2 dinners that they had while they were there. But I'm bouncing around. Just follow me. Ain't no thing. And y'all already know that because you know how I do my reviews, baby. I tell you what stuck out for me in the show. I don't do a blow-by-blow, scene for scene review. I'm not the reviewer. This is me and you. Let's stop for a minute. Let's do a soapbox, shall we? So I got some new people who don't really know everything about how we got here, okay? So listen, in my review, it's like me talking to you on the phone. We just ain't holding no phone. You might be holding your phone looking at me, but I ain't holding no phone. But this is just like talking to me on the phone. And I'm basically just sputting out what I saw on the show that stuck out to me. And it was funny or, what it moved me. Whatever on the show moves me. And sometimes it don't come out in order the way that it moved me. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I'll go from, but never will you ever get a review from me on anything where I go scene by scene by scene. I'm not your subscription to your cable company. I'm SpillitBoyTV. And what I'm doing is taking out some time and sharing some personal time with you. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to catch you up if you ain't got no cable. That's not what I do. That ain't what I do. So, I'm not that type of reviewer. So that will explain to you how I bounce. Sometimes I'll bounce in and out of things because that's how conversations go. And that's what we're having, a conversation. Just one of us is talking. That's all. I just want to get that out there. Down off my soapbox. But bam it. And I'm back. Yes, I am not. I don't work for the cable company. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so like I said, there were two different dinners. And, we were ending up the dinner with Charisse and then we're carrying on. Later on, Karen actually did apologize to all the ladies about carrying on and banging on the table and all of that stuff. Later in the day, or later in the trip, rather, they had another dinner and things came back up. And this is when. So y'all with me? This is when there was the whole thing where Charisse basically said, it is what it is. She ain't got to apologize to me. I'm not thinking about her. I don't need her. I listen, I created this. I don't need no clout from Karen Huger to bring me back into the group. The group is mine. It was my group of friends, my group of ladies that I put together. And in that same dinner is when Robyn and Karen got to going back and forth, and she told her, she said, everybody sees. She says, it's ridiculous, Karen. You are a deflector. You deflect and you're full of shit, and everybody sees it. You are a bullshitter, and we all see through you. I said, oh, and that's when the light came on for me. I said, that's why Karen been going so hard at Robyn, and I guess she ain't gonna stop, because all the stuff with the wedding, Karen is very unapologetic about. She says, she blurts it out in her confessionals. Girl, you ain't getting married. Ain't gonna be no wedding with your fake ass ring. And I was just wondering why she was going so hard at her. Now I know. Anyway, so let's flip backwards. Let's go backwards to when we first came in and they were finishing up that dinner. They had gotten so heated. Right after that, Jacqueline. Oh, no. Before I leave there, I got to give y'all the tea. See, I'm moving too fast. I got to give y'all the tea. Charisse spilled on the table. She just blurted out. She said a few years ago, Karen, she said, I know plenty of stuff about you that I ain't told. She said, remember a few years ago when you were in rehab? I said, what? Yes, she did. Remember a few years ago when you were in rehab and your good friends came down and got you out and took you to party? You remember that? I never told nobody that. I said, well, you just did. This said, and you were sleeping with a man out of town. You were sneaking in and out of town, sleeping with a man that wasn't ready. I said, well, Karen, now you can go on and be mad openly, girl, because it's all out there now. I said, oh my. So that was that. I said, okay. And that's when they bust out Charisse with her nice confessional. I said, well, Charisse, you just arrived. Anyway, moving on. Jacqueline and Mia go back, because when they asked Jacqueline and Mia, did they want to talk? Jacqueline said, no, in Jacqueline fashion. And she said, no, we have a friendship that is, too long to even discuss this in front of you all. We need to have this talk alone. So Jacqueline and Mia go to the little room. Honey, I said, girl, you might as well have the conversation. When I tell you, Mia don't give a damn about nothing that Jacqueline is talking about at all. She just literally just went right on camera and gave her, girl, what lie was told? She said, girl, why would you sit here and be telling people that I slept with Gordon and this, that, thing, and the other? And she's like, I said, girl, she is giving you the blues and making you look so foolish on this show. It's terrible. It is terrible. And I mean, just don't care. Just don't care. You are her storyline. It is what it is, girl. You might as well get over it. Try to make the best of it. You better start firing back. She told her, she said, you're talking about me. You act like you ain't never slept with a married man or whatever. She sat up there and said, yeah, but you have married men, plural, that you're opening your legs to, which led us to believe Jacqueline is sleeping with multiple married men currently. I said, oh my. She wouldn't take back that Jacqueline slept with Gordon. which Jacqueline says she didn't sleep with Gordon, but Mia says basically you did. Don't lie. And she said, well, what about you? She said, I already told my truth. Did I sleep with Gordon? Yes, I started sleeping with Gordon when he was married. And okay, so I told it. And then she went to walk it out and told her about your multiple men that you sleeping with that's married, honey. And Jacqueline said, you are a bitch. I said, there you go. Come on with it, because that's where you're gonna need to go to redeem yourself at this point, Jacqueline. All that right there, you don't never need to break back from that. You need to just go to hell on in on Mia and let it rip, because I'm telling you, she has painted a picture of you to be some type of home wrecking ass tramp. That's what she has given us. And she keeps leaving you with your mouth open and you ain't saying nothing. Girl, you better step your cookies up, sis. Because girl, you're not winning. This is terrible. This is a terrible look. But you can turn it around, girl. Open your mouth and say what you need to say. Moving on. Ashley, Jacqueline, Mia, and Gizelle all went down, and this the next day. They all had went down and they were doing this yoga. But again, everything with Ashley's always something freaky, and it always has a little slight hint of lesbianism going on. And Gizelle, you claim to not be down with any of that, but you always in the mess. Always in the midst, but you down there doing this freaky yoga that's supposed to be, supposed to be so sensational that it really gets things going and gets the blood pumping into those regions. I'm like, what kind of yoga is that? But whatever. Gordon done told Mia she ain't allowed to use her vibrator gift until she come home, so I guess she can't take it out the box. It got to be in the box when she get home. I said, oh. I guess he know what he got, honey. Whatever. Anyway, but they did all that. The rest of the girls, they either came late or it was, I think it was Robyn, Wendy. Robyn and Wendy came totally late, so they missed the yoga. Karen and Candace was actually there for the yoga and was sitting in cute bathing suits. It was like, girl, we are not getting over there and doing all that. Now, one thing I will say about this trip here, this trip, it don't look like fun. It look hot. Everything and every scene, I said it last review, everything looks smoldering. They look like they are just hot. That ain't a good time to me. That's not a good time to me. That's just why I don't go to Vegas other than late spring or early spring, late fall. Right there, that's it. Like October, April. April and October is good times for me with Vegas. You will never catch me in Vegas in July. You will never catch me in Vegas in July unless it's something with somebody paying me a whole bunch of money, baby. Because to be somewhere and just be miserable hot, that just is not fun. And this is what it looks like. Every say I said these women are. Why y'all keep arguing? Because you hot. You hot, and when you hot, you be ready to fight, child. That's what's going on. And then some of them are at a certain type of age. They hot and they ready to fight, child. That's what's going on. Anyway, moving on. When they were sitting over there on that little bed, because this was a little bed over there with the little sheets on it, a little bungalow or whatever that is. Sitting over there was Candace and Karen. And Candace was like, are you feeling okay? Is your hands okay? Because you're banging on the table. Karen said, like, girl, I don't recall banging on the table. What? You was the one banging on the table, you old fool. Talk about she'll remember banging on the table. She remember Charisse banging on the table. I said, see, this is why they be calling you a liar. That right there, that bull crap right there. You didn't do nothing. It was Charisse. No, sweetie, you started the banging of the tables. Okay. Anyway, then they went to this swimming cenote. I would have never done that. They jumping off the cliff into the water, and the water got stuff in it. And they're saying, it's supposed to really do all these things for you and cleanse you. And okay, that's what the people from there believe, and that's fine. That's fine. But they were down there when I tell you they was hot and there was bugs eating their ass up. First of all, I ain't gonna be hot like that. I ain't gonna be jumping in no water with no green shit floating in it. And I ain't gonna be nowhere getting chewed up by no goddamn mosquitoes and other bugs. That ain't fun. That ain't cleansing. That is not a good time to me. And I ain't got time for that. Swimming in the cenote, honey. Listen, Ashley said she was having a great time. They was looking at all the rest of them was like, oh child, getting bug bites. And it was getting on my nerves. It was a point when I was watching it and I felt like I was getting hot. I said, oh, and I was scratching. I said, child, this is too much. That cenote was a bit much for me. Anyway, moving on. Candace and Ashley ended up having this conversation at that second dinner. Candace and Ashley get to talking. And this is where everything was put out there. And this was really eye-opening. Candace got it all out and basically said, everything be cool with us. And then you'll just start taking cheap shots at me. And it's the truth. And then Ashley was truthful. She's like, well, yeah. And she came out with the fact that she's still upset over some things with Candace from back in the past. Like when she had when she was having different problems, she felt like Candace wasn't really there for her, or Candace wasn't really, coddling her. She was more so questioning her. Yeah, Candace did those things. She did those things. She wasn't very empathetic at sometimes. And they were like, okay, so now we know we got all that out. Can we kind of try again? Wendy was like, yeah, because I've hung out with both of y'all. And when we are together, we have the best time. But then somewhere y'all get mixed in. Here's where the somewhere is. It be Ashley. It don't be Candace. They be getting along, and then Ashley, whenever there is a opportunity to get a dig in at Candace, Ashley takes it because Ashley don't really like her. I believe that Candace really do like and want to be friends with Ashley, but Ashley don't really like Candace. I think in some ways she's actually jealous of her. I think that the way that Chris coddles Candace and lets Candace kind of he lets her do too much and she just be all over the place. I think that she kind of envies the relationship that Candace has with Chris versus the relationship she has with Michael. I think she kind of envies that, and she don't really care for Candace all like that. And this is why when it comes up, but we've seen it. She always, whenever they'll be doing good, she will always take whatever opportunity is to get at her. And then she'll be talking all that bull crap. So, I just brought that one girl, the Muppet girl. I brought her so that you would be able to question her, in person. Why? Why are you ushering in? I mean, what if they had got to fighting? And you know what I mean? You don't never know how no stuff like that's going to go. You did it because you was wishing for the worst. You ain't wishing for no good. Wishing for the best, you wouldn't have told her nothing. Because that's what a real friend would have did. What a real friend would have done, you would have left it alone. You would have just kept yourself out of it. If it didn't come up, because real friends don't tell their friends things to hurt them. Is Candace getting ready to get up and leave, Chris? No. And she not. So, Muppet Girl says she don't want nothing to do with Chris. So what was the real purpose of you telling it? There was no imminent threat for Candace. Muppet Girl didn't want her husband. You say her husband hit on her. She says she don't want him. Tell me, why do Candace need to know that now? That's over. It happened. It's over. But you bring her to a place where Candace is so Candace can confront her and all. No, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. A real friend wouldn't have even brought that to her. They would have just took that to their grave. If they thought they just left it alone. Now, if something else happened, maybe. But just right then, there was no reason that you had to even bring that. And you definitely ain't got no reason to bring her to her. Because if something would have popped off, she could end up anything. I mean, anything could have happened when it really wasn't necessary. Anyway, moving on. No imminent threat. Anyhow, and it was a lie. And it was a lie. That's even better. But you take digs anywhere you can get them. And you use the openings when y'all are getting along. Because if y'all ain't getting along, you couldn't even get to her. But you do because you really don't like her. Just call it what it is. Moving on. Wendy and Mia. Same thing. They throw that out. Well, Wendy, Wendy didn't get an apology from Mia. Mia apologized to everybody else. She didn't apologize to, I'm sorry, Mia apologized to everybody else. She didn't apologize to Wendy. And Candace said, I didn't think that was right. Honey, Mia said, I'm not sorry. And I'm not sorry because I'm not going to apologize to her because I don't feel like I want to give her an apology. I meant it. I said, oh, all right for standing up anything. Then they went into this thing which said, you called my husband gay. No, she didn't. She never called Gordon gay. She said, you all sleep with other women and men. She never said Gordon was gay. And they played the scene back. Mia tried to flip this. She tried to flip it. She gonna say, well, is there something wrong with like men sleeping with men? She tried to flip that thing and try to throw. She was trying to work it. I'm like, I don't know why she tried to work wordplay with Wendy. That was just dumb. Mia, you're never smart enough to play word games with Wendy. Not Wendy Osefo. Not at all. Maybe a different Wendy. Maybe Dave's daughter, Wendy. She be talking about fries in a cheeseburger, and you might be able to do some wordplay on her. But that one, that Wendy that worked down at John Hopkins, you ain't got no wordplay for her, sis. And you tried it, and Wendy backed it right on back up. You wasn't able to throw her into the realm of homophobia. You weren't able to throw her in the realm of you saying something about my husband being gay because she did not. She said, what are you talking about? She said, you slept with women. You slept with other men and women. I didn't say that the y'all slept with men was for him. Now, the cute part is, Wendy, we caught it. We caught the read, honey. And it was perfectly placed because Wendy is a wordsmith. And sorry, Mia. What no way to twist it around. She got you, girl. She got you. And then here's the last thing, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Child, that mess that Mia said about Peter and his brother, I said, so maybe this is why Peter and them don't mess with you. Listen to this mess. She broke out there and she said, you sleep with other women. You admitted to sleeping with Peter's girlfriend, and Peter, y'all are all mixed in with Peter. She gonna say, well, technically, I didn't sleep with Peter's girlfriend. I slept with her first. Technically, Peter's sleeping with my girlfriend. I said, oh. I said, see, and you know Peter Thomas is petty. I would love to be a fly on the wall when Peter Thomas sees that footage and you say that technically he's sleeping with your girlfriend because you slept with her first. I bet you Peter will cuss your ass. You and Gordon. How about that? Anyway, this is all that went down on this episode. It's a mess. But I still go back and I say, you know why all of this is going on? Because they hot. They over there in Mexico, baby, and they are hot. And being hot like that and eaten up by bugs, child, don't make you happy. It makes you angry. Anyway, till next time. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.